Hey, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com and Harry by way of Humboldt, Texas, by way of Monroe, Louisiana. Let me show you how I'm going to cut transition lenses for your RayBan 2132 new Wayfarer, color 902L, which is the dark tortoise, in size 55. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's open everything up the way RayBan sends it to me in its original packaging. Here's your RayBan case, your RayBan cleaning cloth, and junk mail, because you just don't get enough of it in your mailbox. Now at home, RayBan's going to be kind enough to put some in your case for you. And this is your RayBan frame with a little plastic sleeve that RayBan puts on there. And in fact, if they think it's such a good idea to put one on there during shipping, I'm going to put a second one on there when I send it to you, just so it's twice protected. So let me pull these off. This is your original heavy glass lenses with the crooked G15 sticker, which is almost always crooked. But the first thing I'm going to do, I got to cover a lot of ground because I want to show you your lenses activating. I'm going to take out the heavy glass lenses and I'm going to cut some lightweight unbreakable lenses for your new frame in my Santinelli LE1000 patternless edger, or as I like to say, a Santinelli LE1000 patternless edger. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everybody loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. So it has traced the right lens, it is now tracing the left lens, and pretty soon I'm going to pull your shape up onto the computer. So that is the shape of your right lens. If this were prescription, I'm going to put in your pupillary distance, but instead I'm going to match the frame PD. This is a polycarbonate lens being cut for a Xyle frame, which is an old school name for plastic. So let me take your lenses out of the protective sleeves they come in, the little foam packet that's on top of that. Do the same thing for the left lens. Pull that out, let's trash that. I have to put a little block on there while it's cutting to go in the lathe. So what I'm going to do, I've got a sticky pad from 3M. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to put it on the block. I'm going to pull the sticker off of this side and stick it right on the middle of your lens. Let's do the same thing twice for your other lens. Put that on that block, peel that side off, and let's make it sticky. I'm going to put this lens into the chuck. Hello, Chuck. I'm sorry, Charles. I don't know you well enough. And I'm going to hit start. Now, the first thing that's going to happen is the LMU is going to come down and trace the shape of your frame onto the lens. It's going to trace the concave side of the lens first, which is closest to your eyelashes. Then it's going to scoot over and trace the convex side of the lens, which is away from the face. Using the calipers to measure the thickness of the lens, to know exactly where to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. The actual cutting wheel is this one over here on the left. It's the lighter color wheel that's like a heavy grit sandpaper. That's going to grind away the polycarbonate material. This wheel in the center that has the little channel in it, that's going to put the bevel onto the lens. I will have to close the door in a moment because it'll get loud, but for now I want you to see your transition lenses as they touch the cutting wheel. Now the lenses you are receiving are the unbreakable polycarbonate. They are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are also bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection on them. And while that is cutting, you got the combo. You got the transition lenses and the sun lenses. So I went ahead and took the time to cut your sunglass lenses ahead of time, and this is how I'm going to ship them to you. I put them in these protective foam packets. I fold them over twice and then put them in a third one to protect them during shipping. But this is how you're going to change your lenses in and out. Let me take out that second one. And just so you can see, if I hold them up to the light, they are brown. Hopefully that looks brown in the camera. So in order to insert your lenses, you tuck them in at the outer corner, which is closest to me, and then using your thumbs, you push down at the nose, they snap right in. I rotate the frame around so the empty side is closest to me. Same thing again, I tuck it in at the closest side, and using my thumbs, press down at the center, it snaps right in. Now to take it, it's always with your thumb, it's always at the nose. No matter what direction you're doing, you're always pressing down with your thumb. So to take them out, I turn the frame downward. I'm right-handed, so I grab the frame with my left hand, and you can torque the frame. You're not going to hurt the frame, and you're not going to hurt the unbreakable lenses. But with the thumb, you push down at the nose, and with my fingers here, I kind of pull back on the frame. And I can pull really hard if I want to, because this is your frame. I'm not afraid of breaking it. I don't want to do that on my frame. But no, okay, so I pull backward, and with my thumb, I push down, or outward, out pops the lens. And to put it back in, I rotate the frame upright, and I tuck it in at the outside corner closest to me, and then with my thumbs, press right down, and there you go. You've got your brown sunglass lenses and your tortoise frames. So let me pop these back out. I turn it downward, and I push down with my thumb. Out it comes. Let me clean these back up. In fact, I'm going to use your cleaning cloth that I'm going to give you. Now, RayBan gives you one. I'm going to give you another one. And I field test every single cleaning cloth to make sure it works before I send it to you. Sorry, my own little joke here. You know, I don't want to send you a cloth. I have to verify that it will clean your lenses. You know, it looks bad if I send you a cloth that won't. So, because I don't want to use the cloth that's in my pocket. I don't want to get that dirty, so I'm going to use yours to get yours dirty. Okay, so let me tuck this back into its sleeve, fold that over, tuck it into the pouch that says RayBan 2132, size 55 in brown. And again, these are the lightweight, unbreakable, bulletproof lenses with both UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you will always have UV protection, even in your transition lenses when they are clear. So I will be quite shocked if this actually fits, but the first thing I'm going to do is dry your lens off so it's not slippery and I don't drop it on live TV. But to see if it fits, just like before, I tuck it in at the outside corner, press down at my thumbs. No, it does not fit. In fact, I skipped a step, but it's almost a moot point. You still have some rough edges here. I use my hand stone to smooth that out, which I'll do in a minute when I'm not talking and distracting myself. So I'm going to take it down 1/10 of a millimeter and hit the retouch button. It is not going to go onto the cutting wheel. It's just going to go straight to the bevel wheel. And it's going to take 1/10 of a millimeter off your lens. In fact, the distance between my thumbnails is 1 millimeter. I'm going to do 1/10 of that distance around the circumference of your lens. Harry with United Airlines, go ahead and put your seat back because this is going to be a fun ride. You're going to watch how your lenses are being made. So, did you grow up in Monroe, Louisiana? If so, I bet you had some great food down there. Not that Humboldt, Texas doesn't. You got some good brisket. Of course, this is a pork state. I'm in Durham, North Carolina, and boy, do we make a lot of pork barbecue here. Texas has the beef brisket, which is very good. It's finally making its way to this pork state. But Louisiana's got some great Cajun food. I can't wait to go to New Orleans. That's one of the destinations. I plan on putting on about 10 or 15 pounds, and I don't even drink. I just want to go there to hit the restaurants. And what are they called? The little beignets, the little powdered donuts? Oh, I'm going to crush some of those. You're going to have to help me back onto the plane because I'm barely going to be able to walk when I leave New Orleans. Okay, so I'm going to take it out of the chuck. Thank you, Chuck. Excuse me, Charles. Okay, so I'm going to dry the lens off. I'm going to go over to my hand stone and try and remove. Now, this is completely flat. I can put my finger against it while it's running, and it does get warm, but I'm going to go all the way around. And this is known as the safety bevel. I take off the rough edges, and if you can see this little white powdery substance, there's lots of it down in Colombia, should you happen to go down there. But I scrape it off the edge of your lens, and it falls onto the counter. Once it's onto the counter, I gather it, making sure not to lose any of it, and then I wipe it onto the floor. And this is the part where I remind all the kids, kids, I went to school for years to learn how to wipe stuff on the floor. Don't think you can do it as easily as me. Stay in school and learn how to make a mess. All right, so I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, and using my thumbs, oops, it's still alive, it's wiggling. Using my thumbs, I press down, nope, it's not going. So I'm going to take another 1/10 of a millimeter off of your lens, put it back into the chuck, and always go a little bit larger. You can always cut more off of a lens. You can never add it back on. The golden rule. So I start large and work my way down. And hopefully I can do all of this in 20 minutes, because if I don't, YouTube is going to chop this video into 2. And I still want to show you as your lenses turn dark. I'm going to show you what they look like clear, and then I'm going to show you what they look like dark. But once I get the size down just right, I'm going to flip it over and cut the left lens. I shouldn't have that problem with the left. So, hopefully you can see through there. Let me see if I can clean that window a little bit. And you can see that in there. Now, I'm going to make sure the frame is in standard alignment before I ship it to you, meaning that it's level on the table and there's no wobble. But 99% of all optical shops do free adjustments. So the next time you're near one, just if these are sitting too loose or too tight, or if one side is higher than the other, which mine are. By the way, I'm wearing color, oh, what color is this? I can't see when I've got them off. Hang on. Let me put on my strong magnifiers. This is color 6053, which is the blue crystal. I'm wearing size 52, which is slightly smaller. You're getting the size 55. But I wear this because I wear a lot of blue, and especially should I have a pinstripe, that blue and crystal works very good. But what I do is I pop my lens out of one color and into a different color every day, depending on what color shirt that I'm wearing. So, and of course what I was going to demonstrate, when I take mine off, I have one ear that's higher than the other. So when I put my finger down, you see a little bit of a wobble in my glasses. But they sit level on me. Alright, hang on, let me get this adjusted. There we go. Okay, again, I'm going to draw your lens off so it's not slippery. I'm going to go back over real quick, a safety bevel on the handstone. And I actually do this so much in the course of a day that I have worn a V-shaped bevel into my thumbnail. My friends call it my occupational thumbnail because I sit there and scrape the sides of lenses. And again, once it's all on the counter, wipe it on the floor. Kids, stay in school. How many times I got to tell you? Okay, I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner first, and then using my thumbs, I'm going to press down at the nose. It snaps in perfectly that time. So let's go ahead and cut the left lens. Let's flip that over to the left and hit start. Just like before, this is going to come down and trace the shape of your frame onto the left lens to make sure it's large enough to cut out. Round and round it goes. So hopefully you can see the cutting wheel this time. It is that heavy grit material that grinds away your ultra thin polycarbonate material. Did I mention that this is unbreakable? Did I mention that your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber? So if someone is aiming at your shoulder, quick duck and make sure they shoot you in the eye, the eyeball. And of course it has UVA and UVB protection. And that's cutting. So I'm going to take this block off, pull the little sticky pad off, dry everything off that I mentioned, and I'm going to test drive your cleaning cloth to make sure it works. I do not want to send any defective cleaning cloths. And by the way, I also include instructions on how to care for your RayBan case and cleaning cloth. No other seller on the internet does that. In fact, I'll tell you now, once a month or whenever it gets dirty, your cleaning cloth, just wash it at the kitchen sink with dish soap and then rinse it out and let it dry on a paper towel or a dish towel, but they dry in just a few hours. These microfiber cloths, you can tell it's real because if it wasn't real, I couldn't do that. Now you know it's real. So, and it's good for anything optical grade, from camera lenses to computer screens, TV screens, cell phones, tablets, CDs and DVDs, binoculars, telescopes, microscopes, all that you got around the house. And on rare occasions, people even use it on their glasses. But they have to be very desperate. They still prefer their shirt. I still have people coming back years later. Is it okay to use this on my glasses? Yes. Yes, it is. And in fact, you get one of the vintage ones. This is my original logo when it was called Bull City. But of course now, it is freeprescriptionlenses.com. When you buy the frame, you get free clear lenses or free clear prescription lenses in any frame. You notice it's still completely flat around the edges like a nickel. Now it's putting the bevel onto the lens. Polycarbonate cuts dry. If you can notice, there's actually water running in the background. So I put my finger there. But in just a moment, water will kick in and start to wash away some of the optical sawdust that is there. In fact, the technical term for the optical sawdust is called schwarf. Normally I'd say may the schwarf be with you, but no, it's being washed away. And Harry, I do want to mention your lenses have a lifetime warranty. providing that you only live for 365 more days. I hope that's not a morbid joke. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 3. You didn't see that one coming. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? Okay. Don't worry, I won't quit my day job. Hello, is this on? Okay, hang on. Let me dry this off again. Now, back to the handstone. Back to the safety bevel. Back to the occupational thumbnail, scraping the swarf off. And this time, get it all on the counter. And this time, behind the back. Woo, look at that technique. Kids, how many times am I going to tell you? Stay in school. So again, I'm going to test it to make sure it fits. I tuck it in at the outside corner. And then using my thumbs, I press down at the nose and it snaps in perfectly. So let me take this block off. Pull the sticker off. Dry your lens off with your pre-tested cleaning cloth. So if there's a few wrinkles on there, you know it's been used. So again, to put it in standard alignment, I'm going to do what's known as a 3-point stance. That 3 points is 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter, put my thumbs down to make sure there's no wobble like I did with my frames, the way they wobble when I put them down. I'm going to make sure that yours don't do that. I'm going to flip it over. Same thing, I press down, there is no wobble. I close each hinge to make sure it overlaps perfectly, and it does, and the same amount of tension on both sides. And now I want to activate your lenses. You can see, that's the term for when I turn them dark. You can see how they're virtually clear right now, ever so slight of a shade while they're clear. And I'm going to put them into my little transitions unit, which is essentially just a strong UV light. And I'm going to turn that light on. And as you're going to notice, all transition lenses turn dark in about 30 to 45 seconds. It takes a little bit slower to come back inside to lighten up, about 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now, as you also witness, all transition lenses turn dark on day 1. If you give them 2 weeks, they can continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks till they reach their maximum performance, and they'll work that way for years. The only time they will not work is when you're behind the windshield in a traditional car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's ultraviolet rays so your upholstery doesn't rot or your dashboard does not crack from sitting in the sun. That's what prevents the lenses from darkening in a car. Now, if you have a motorcycle or a convertible, they will darken. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning once it gets into the high 90s, the 90s, and especially the high 90s, they just don't turn as dark as they do when it's cooler than that. When it's in the upper 90s, you're miserable, your lenses are miserable, everyone's miserable. So here are your lenses. That's them as they darken. Don't worry, they're going to continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks. Let me dry some of that little dust off of there from my little corner unit that gets dusty. I'm going to have to dust over there. And how many times can I say dust in 10 seconds? Oh, someone go back, rewind, and count. So that is it. Harry, down in Humble, Texas, I really appreciate you getting these frames from me. You could have purchased them from anyone, but you got them from the guy who gives you the free clear lenses. Well played, sir. All you did is pay the extra $50 for the upgrade to the transitions. And of course, you've got the combo, which gives you the sunglass lenses. So if you are in a car and you want sunglasses, just pop these in and you've got the protective cases. I'll even send you one more protective case in there if you want a larger container to pop your lenses in and out to. But that is it. If anyone else has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com, or if you're on the website, just click the Contact Me button and I'll answer your question just as soon as I can. Harry, I hope you enjoyed watching your glasses being made. And everyone else out there, you can see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.